Testing, testing. Is this thing on? Is it on? Hello? Hello? Hi? James, hi? Hi?
5'9", this corner of the room.
Just that corner of the room. Are we like a 3-3 over here? Sure. Or what is it? 5'9" plus a million? Who says that? Right there. That'd be Jamie. And I already lost my notes. That's how good I am at doing this. Nope, I'm not good. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, look at that. My first one says our newest ham that's a general, James Vanderveen. Give him a hand. There you go. No, good job. So just a brief thing. Last October, the Jamboree on the Air, Dad the ham. They went out to Eagle Island where we were at, and he was seeing all that we have. We had some good pictures of him like playing with the satellite antenna thing, doing some bouncing stuff. And he studied, and the next meeting here, right, took the test, got his technician. At Winter Field Day, just how many days ago was that? Was that a week, 2 weeks? I don't know. Into January, and it's the beginning of February, so it could have been a week ago. I don't know. Yeah, took his general, and he got his general. We tried to get him to get the extra, but I don't think, did you even try the extra? No, he was too chicken to try. I don't blame him. I went cross-eyed trying to do that, and then I did 2 months later, I did that. Just keep studying, and you just know the answers, right? All you got to do is know the answers to get the test, and then the real fun stuff happens, and you forget everything on the test. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that, because I bet everybody in here, if you gave them the technician test right now, they couldn't pass it. Prove me wrong. I bet you might pass it. All right, next. Past events. Believe it or not, it's been a minute since we've had one of these meetings, right? A few minutes at least, because we didn't have one in January. Somebody decided to put the first on Thursday. I don't know who that was. You can go talk to them later. So our last meeting was actually it was in November, because we didn't have a meeting in December because of something called a Christmas party, which who had fun at that Christmas party? Everybody? Some people didn't raise their hands. That's embarrassing. Okay, if you weren't there, I'll give you a pass. But yeah, the Christmas party was it was at the Golden Corral, I think. Yes, it was. I was a little busy that night. I was going back and forth between there and doing some scout stuff and selling hot chocolate to people out wandering the cold. And it was colder then than it's colder now. That's enough of the weather. So the Christmas party, that was fun. We'll do it again in 10 months. It's about 10 months. I'm thinking, yes, the smoke's coming out. Something's getting us short. Winter Field Day. Yeah, we just talked about that. Somebody got their generals. Who had fun at Wilder? Who was there at Winter Field Day? That's awesome. Cool. Maybe next year we can get more people. It was Winter Field Day works. 430 some contacts. I can't remember the exact number of contacts. Why do you not have a microphone? You told me that you weren't going to talk. This is why I'm standing up here with the microphone.
No, I went and got the details.
$100 that he's not going to talk?
Okay.
Well, you just won $100.
Okay, so Winter Field Day, just so everybody knows, we had 430 some contacts. I couldn't tell you how many points, but when I looked after submissions were required to be put in for the outdoor category, which is all 1O through however many O's, we were number 15 of all the outdoors that submitted logs as far as our ranking
That nationwide?
worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yes.
So we were probably number one in Idaho. Yeah. Good enough. I'll say we were. Doesn't mean we were, but I'll say we were. Sounds good. So, but yeah, Winter Field Day. We're not a contesting club, but we're getting stats like we are. Okay. It's a what? The cold. And I think the high was 50? No, not that weekend. Oh, 45.
Like 30.
30? Sure. I didn't say the low, I said the high. The high sounds better for January. No, it doesn't. We're going to be rationing water this year. Why does my phone keep turning off? And then I lose my notes. Not that they're going to do me any good. But anyways, Winter Field Day, lots of fun. People out there with campers, trailers, trucks, tents, fireplaces in tents. It's amazing it doesn't burn down. But it's a lot of fun. And it was, I think, way too warm inside that tent. Thank you, Mike. That's awesome. There was times where I'm swearing people were starting to strip off clothes. It was hot. Yeah, I wasn't there either. You're lucky I wasn't there. Never mind. I'm talking too much. I better give this mic. Okay. Let's see. So that's the past events. Upcoming stuff. Jamie. There's an antenna build coming up. He's got the details. I can't point with this microphone because then you won't hear me. See? Here, speak with that.
Thank you. Oh, and a shout out to Larry for the tower. Winter Field Day was awesome. That helped us a ton. And everybody who helped set it up, because that actually was quite a process. Yeah, we appreciate it very much. It helped us get those contacts. And the beam on top, awesome. Pointed it where we needed to go. Okay, February 21st, club is sponsoring a antenna build. It's a fun time. We're going to do it at the LDS Chapel in Middleton, right next to the high school. The address is actually 1749 Willis Road. If you've ever been to Middleton High School, it's the one just to the east of it. You can't miss it. So the 21st is in 2 Saturdays, and it's going to be from 10 to 1. So 3 hours, come out and enjoy the camaraderie or the fun time. Build an antenna if you want. We're going to have, we still have a few of the NFED half-wave kits. We have a 6-meter kit. We have a tape measure Yagis we can put together. And anything that anybody has as a request, we have time to get something put together. So does anybody have any requests for specific antennas that you want to help build there? Just louder, louder. Just kidding, Rod? Okay. Yeah. We just have to scavenge the 4-element one we just used. Okay, James.
A simple, like, VHF omnidirectional for people who don't know how to build antennas.
Okay.
Do we have some J-pole stuff?
Oh yeah, tape the roll-up J-pole. Okay, we'll have it there, James. You show up, we'll make it happen. So the 21st from 10 until 1 at the LDS Chapel just east of the Middleton High School on Willis. It's 1749 Willis Road in Middleton. Any other questions about that? Okay. Back to Santa.
Hang on. What was that address?
1749 Willis Road.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? I heard that before.
Willis Road. Okay. I'll still get lost. All right. Thank you for that. The antenna build, he's not kidding. They are a lot of fun. I paid for an antenna. I still haven't built it. And that was like 3 years ago. Elaine, why do you do that every single time? Call yourself somebody. You're Elaine. But yeah, it's first. See, I think that was one of the really first events that I think it was APOTA, the first event I really was. I don't even think I was part of the club. I just went. I don't know, but it's a lot of fun. That's why I like being part of this club. We do a lot of stuff, and it's a variety of stuff, right? And it's just a bunch of fun time of good people to be around. So, moving on. end of February, that's this month. It's February of 2026 already. It's going to be Christmas next month. Watch. Then we'll have the Christmas party at Golden Corral again. It's good. Never mind. The end of this month, the 28th, is a Fruitland Ham Cram. It's this is where we have a bunch of people that want it. They've expressed interest in taking a test, right? How many people we have signed up? I know we probably have maybe 15 now. I keep seeing emails of another person signed up. I'm like, oh, look, another one. Somehow I get copied on them, which is fine. That's okay. I think it's because I'm subscribed into our club's email address. I should stop deleting things too. He's probably going to get mad at me. I don't know if I delete them off my phone, does it delete them off of the email site too? Oh boy. Oh boy. I haven't. Does that root beer have caffeine in it? It probably does, doesn't it? Okay. So it is on the 28th. Typically we start around 8 o'clock. Well, that's when we start reviewing the test. And what we do on that technician is we just go through the answers, the questions, and the right answer. All through all 600, 500 of them, 400 of them. All 400 questions, just the answer and the questions. Question and the answer. Not all the answers in there, they just give you the right answers. So the thing is, so if you've studied, or if you're taking, and I'm going to put a plug here for Ham Study. It's what I use. I paid for the app on the phone. It was like $3.99, and it's still there. And I paid for it like 5 years ago, I think it was. Because, yeah, that's a whole nother story I'll tell you about sometime. But, yeah, you go through it, and it'll circle the questions around and around. If you get it wrong, it shows you more and more times until you get it right. Once you're at 80% consistently, go take the test. You'll pass. You don't have to know what it means. Just pass the test. And then the fun stuff happens. So yeah, we do that up until noon, have a little lunch break, and then we start testing. So I'll be there as one of the examiners to grade your tests and tell you that you got to take it again after you pass. So it's a lot of fun, and it's cool stuff. The more the people that are there to help, we typically we have to have at least 3 examiners, because they're the ones grading. We'll need another one that mans a computer. That's usually Elaine. We have someone that's usually talking and sharing all the answers to questions. A lot of time that is Kim, who's usually up here and talking, because it's odd that he's back there talking, but he's not feeling good. But yeah. And then we have other people, people to sit in the testing room to watch them, because you have to have somebody that has to be able to keep their peeps on them. Yeah, there was Hoot's usually there with all of his fun stuff, radios. Was it one year that you put up a dipole in the big building? And they were making contacts with the dipole up near the roof inside the building. Where did you go? Where did you reach? What's the longest distance it wasn't the parking lot. It was like in another state at least. Maybe even another country. I don't know. They're at least another state. So that's pretty cool. All right, so that's on the 20th of February. We really could use some help. And if you want to sign up, if you're an extra, we could really use your help. Because if you're an extra, then you can be able to, ouch. I felt that all the way over here. If you're an extra, then you can do all of the grading and everything that's needed. A general, we could still use you. You could, and be in there, and Kim can get you all set up. We're a Laurel Club, so we don't charge people to take the tests here. The only charge that you have to do is just a $35 fee with the FCC. And maybe they'll take their money. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll get a license. I don't know. It's the government. Oh my gosh, that was too loud. So that is on, the address of that is 325 North Pennsylvania Avenue in Fruitland, not the East Coast. Fruitland. So it's close. Thank you. I'm here all week. No, I'm not. After that is I'll just see myself out. After that, we are into March. That's the following month after February. Idaho QSO Party. We did that last year at the Wilson Creek Trailhead. I was there. Kim was there. Lane's not here tonight, but he was there. Steve was there. Who else was there last year? Elaine was there. There's Jamie, Hoot. Yes, it is a POTA place. You can do it. I forget what the POTA is. It's some herd management area, if I remember right. Again, lots of fun. You can set it up. You can do a lot of contacts out there. It's quiet, radio quiet, that is. The other nice thing is there's no motorized vehicles out on those trails. So Wilson Creek Trailhead is on the other side of the Snake River. So if you head south of Nampa on 45, I don't know, it's 12th that next to my house. Just go all the way to across the river, and then when you hit the T, you don't swerve to the left and start heading to Murphy. You go straight, and then you have to take a stop and you turn right. No, I did not say the date. I don't have a date on here. The QSO party is, if you Google search Idaho QSO party, you'll probably find it.
March 14th.
That sounds right. It's about the middle of March. You have cell coverage out there too. It's pretty good. I won't be there unfortunately this time, and that's a whole nother story. I got tons of stories. I'm not going to share everything. I'd be here. Somebody wouldn't be able to do their presentation. That's kind of hidden. So we'll keep going. So be there. We'll talk about it some more. I'm sure there's going to be some minutes or something else that's going to give you much better information than I don't sit in here and yapping at you. After that is March, April. We done skipped over April altogether. Riggins Jet Boat Races in April. That's a fun thing to be at. What else is in April? Right. The really fun thing, I mean, it's funny, I'm going to say the Riggins Jet Boat Race in April, which is usually Easter, but it's not this year. It's usually a pretty big thing, but it's being kind of overshadowed by the World Jet Boat Races in May. Well, and we could really use a lot of ham radio operators on that one too. Yeah, right. The special event, we have a special event station set up for it that'll be about, he's telling you to stop talking. That was Steve telling you to stop talking, by the way. I'm not going to get in trouble. Oh, he has a microphone over there too. That's all right. We don't want him to talk. His head hurts. The special event station is about probably a week. So the jet boat races is from the 8th to the 18th, I believe. I might be off by a day or two. I think I'm pretty good. The 17th. I think I put 18th because I took that 18th off from my work too. Right. There's going to be tuning up and show and tell of everybody with their fancy river jet boat races. It's a lot of fun to go to. And if you're there as an operator as well, you get like a front row seat to the people flying by you at 15 feet away from where you're sitting at if you're on the boat. Or you can stay on the shore, or you can roam around. There's a lot of jobs. And they're not really jobs. It's kind of fun. We're being there to keep everybody else safe. And those racers really appreciate it. From every single one of these events that I've been to, they don't express enough how much they're appreciative of us being there to support them and to keep them safe on that. So more of that's coming. Yes.
Real quick, like April is, and we're going to do an emergency communications exercise with digital modes, and that will be our topic in April. So that'll be our activity following up in April. May's topic is going to be event communications and net control, leading into the events we've got coming up in the summer. There.
Speaking of the events and coming up, how many gets the emails from Ham Club for these deals? How many read them all the time? Did you read the last one? It wasn't the same as what they've been every single time before. So I just want to put a plug that we've taken it off of a repeat with just a general thing of this is like a social, here's what things, general stuff that we can talk about, this, and that. We were actually make it a lot better. We're putting a lot more effort into it so you can know exactly what we're talking about. Like today's going to be some go boxes. Oh, I just gave away what's under the blanket, I think. I haven't looked and peeked. I'm probably completely wrong. So more on that. End of May, we've been asked about supporting a bicycle race event. I think the last time I read was like 2018. So that's something that they're looking, again, like the jet boat races, we're looking for just people there to help keep these riders safe at different aid stations, keeping track of where they're at. There might be somebody that's following them. There'll be more information to come on that. But as a club and our leadership, we've decided, we can support you. So what we're going to ask for is people around here, you guys, to take that time. I think it's going to be on a Saturday. I think May 30th is a Saturday. So we're not taking a work time away from you. Maybe your free time, but this is a lot of fun. To me, this is what free time's all about. Because we do radio stuff because we like to have fun, right? And the thing that I always say, if you want to be in radio because you want to be able to have emergency communications when the stuff hits the fan, how are you going to use that if you don't use it in other events and things like this and being able to practice using it? That's my plug for doing all these events. It keeps me sharp. First part of June is the Lewis and Clark Trail on the air. Why do I have a W? I don't know, because I probably did a W instead of, I can't spell even when it's not a word. Lewis and Clark on the, we've been one of the facilitators with this thing twice already. This will be the third year. And basically what we're doing is we're going out there and we're saying we are, it was like CQ Lakota or something like that. I don't know. And people are going to want to talk to you and get your information so they can get points for this Lewis and Clark Trail on the air event. And that goes from the 1st of June through the 16th, I believe. A couple weeks. I forget where it is, but I know the Lewis and Clark Trail starts from somewhere in the Midwest. I want to say Illinois, something like that. I don't know, all the way through to Oregon or Washington. Why did he point at you? Where? Indiana, where the Indians lived. Yes. Missouri, sure. Indiana, Missouri. Yeah, Midwest, I was right. Imagine that. I can sit down now, I was right. And then, to wrap this up, it's not wrapped up by any means. Summer Field Day, June 27th and 28th. Last few years we've had it up at Tripod Meadows, where somebody in this club bought this huge, amazing, super tall trailer antenna beam monstrosity. I think they call it a COW. I don't know why. What's COW stand for? Cell on Wheels. Sure. Thing's huge. If you're out at Winter Field Day, you saw it. It's a little heavy to pull up to Tripod Meadows. I can imagine it weighs a pretty good brick or two. So we're looking at some place that we can take it. Hopefully it's still just as cool. I don't want to burn up doing field day. That's not fun. But yeah, so we're looking. We'll keep everybody informed and posted for where we're at. Field day is a lot of fun. Again, the whole thing is out there. An emergency happens. Being able to set up remotely, right? You've got all your equipment. We're not staying home. We're going out someplace. And a lot of times it's just a big social 2-day deal, really. That's what it's been like, and you got some radio people going on. We got to go get on the air station for people that aren't necessarily licensed, but there's a licensed operator that's going to be in charge of the station. So even if you're just a tech, you can come up, and it's an opportunity that you can get on an HF radio and talk to Chile and South Africa and Europe and Japan and Russia and everywhere else. So I probably talked way too much. Potluck's on Saturday night. If you don't know what a potluck is, I don't know why you don't know what a potluck is. I'd like to know what Rocky delivered. Okay, so those are the events. That's what's happening. You got a little quick synopsis. Who is it? NA7DP. I'm guessing it's the one that has the NA7DP on your hat. Dave, yes. I knew that. I'm going to give the mic to you. He has our presentation for the day. And it looks like there's going to be some pretty cool stuff. Here you go, Dave. Thank you.
How do I get back to my... No. How do I get my screen back? How do you kill the Roku? I'm blinking here.
one of the mics too. Otherwise, you can't read online.
Alrighty. My name's Dave Paulson, call sign NA7DP, and I escaped from Oregon. It was quite a trip, but the thing is, while over there, we were living in the Lake Oswego area, and the secretary for our club, which was the Cascade Amateur Radio Society, was working with Tigard City's ERT group, their CERT team and stuff like that. And so he knew I had the ability to do some things. So he says, hey, I need you to build some boxes for Tualatin City. Tualatin City wants to be able to evolve, and what they want to do is just something they can put on the counter and run it in and pull the coax over, plug it in, and be on the air. And so he gave me some stuff to build some Go boxes. And it started me on this trip. So, Go Box, my version of everything in a handy container. Just you grab it, you go. Rev 1 looked like that. They were made from Harbor Freight. They had a box you could buy that closed over like that. They were about $30 or something like that. This is what we started with. The radio down here, I don't know what it is. We put one of the buses in the back, power supply hiding in the back there, and a couple of Icon radios and that. They could close it up, set it out, and boom, it was on the air. Hey, this is pretty slick. I'll build me one. So we go to the next one. That's my first attempt. It tells you what's all in it there. But the thing is that got tuner up here on the side, got a little laptop. I was doing some digital stuff, power supply over here, signal length in the middle, and that, some other things like that. Do you see a problem with that tuner? Over there? Yeah, that the IT 100. It's backwards. You can't get to it. So that's Rev 1. So then we went to Rev 2. We turned the tuner around. So now I bring a radio from the back of the radio out to it and then plug the antenna in there. Then it's a dual band. I mean, it does them all. It does all modes and everything like that. So I needed to get the 2 meter out. So that's over here on the side. Power supply is about the same. The rest of it like that. Had a little laptop, do digital and that and everything. And that all closed right up. Boom. And all it was just took an antenna to put it in there. And that's Rev 3. Okay. Let's go to Rev 4. Rev 4 started to look like that. The box it went into is this green box. And I actually had a pair of I had a ICOM 208 inside of it. And so I moved the ICOM out and put in my 7100. And then I got a couple of lithium ion batteries because I used to have some 7 amp gel. I mean, not gel, but just lead acid. And it was pretty heavy. And that, so I wanted something a little smaller. Who needs me? And then I needed to play with some stuff, and I'll explain that in a little bit. So I needed to put that in that box, so then it looks like this. That's the box I started with. In that, the only two things that hold that together is the bottom plate fits in the bottom down there, and just those two mounting screws are on the front, and then there's two mounting screws on the top, and both of the two trays come out, so everything is just comes right out. Now I should go back to the one. Let's see if I can go back. Let me see here. Two, this was rather neat. You went back to that number of one, that first one, I had all that stuff mounted on that plate. Nothing came in and out. They were worried about heat and stuff like that. So that was an issue. And so this one here, those two red tabs that you just look your fingers in that thing, and that entire assembly slid out of the box and would sit on the bench. So not a heating problem like that. It just all slid back in and worked that way. So that one was, I thought, was really a good design. So we move up ahead. So the same thing with this one here, but I didn't want to be able to punch a lot of holes in the box. And so this one just had the two tracings. So when it got done, that's what Rev 4 looks like. That's this one down here. And so I've got the 7100 in there facing backwards. So I just plug everything into it. I have the controller over on the side. It just sits there, comes out. That's a 30 amp power supply down in here. There's my tuner. And then I've got my bus bar over here on the side, two 10 amp lithium ions in there. And then that needed stuff is where everything goes in. And this is some amazing stuff. I'll explain it to you. I built this little box out of it, and this just slides in there, and that's what's called the needed stuff. And the little handle pops down there in the front. And this is where everything goes and fits in there so that I can put that cover on. And then on the cover, I have a solar panel, little one, that I can charge batteries up with. Then in that tie-dyed thing in there, all my manuals. I mean, I have all my manuals. So you remember, you read the flipping manual. Boom, it's there. So you can pull it out. And this is what it looks like all set up. And so then that the HF comes out, goes into the tuner, comes out of the tuner and goes into this box. This does both high and low. So I can do 2 meter and check everything. A couple of switches, make sure everything's working. And I actually have some more room in it. I do. And so that's the the Rev 4 done. And I think I've got a picture here. Of course, that's what it looks like, just kind of sitting out. And then I had a problem, is that it's aluminum box. It's all aluminum. So I got figuring, hold it. I need some way to put a little dual band if I need to do some 2 meter or something like that. So what I did is someone who was doing HV at one of the houses down the street had a piece fall in driveway. And so I grabbed it, cut it up, and mounted it to the back. And there's a couple of magnets down here to hold it. And then someone told me something, with that radio facing the wrong direction, you might have a heat problem. So, boom, I put that in the back of the box. And so that sits right where the radio is and where the tuner is, and they have access to that. There's the magnets to hold that. And then I put my little 2 meter antenna on it, chink, and there it sits. And then this piece of foam that you see over to the side, that white piece of foam, that has a cut on it right at about the same height as my box, and that's what holds that piece of plate up. So then I can just clamp my antenna on top of it or anything else. And that's the way it looks all set up. I just hooked it up the other day and just made sure everything turned on. And in fact, here's what it looks like. Oh, and I added this little feature. And then it also has this. So if you don't need to see or you do need to see, that zooms in and out. And so that's the extent of my Go boxes. This is the laser. Now, I happened to call back and talk to some people at AARL, and I says, hey, do you know anything about a Go box? She says, well, I'll send you what I can find. So she dug through AARL, and this is what she came up. This is a guy who had this one in QST, and you can find hundreds of them online, but I just thought you'd throw this one out there. This Glenn had this one, and he's got it really packed. This is similar to the case someone else had here, but this is your old 19-inch computer box that you can put in like that. The only thing with this is it's a little different than mine is. That's the back end. So you got a little bit of wire. Alrighty, so now I was going to talk to you something. Let me introduce you to Plascor. I'll send some of these around. Here's some pieces of it. There's a couple pieces you can send that. Just hand off here. Let me have a couple of them. There you go. This is Plascor. Where I worked or used to work is a fab over, well, actually I got 30 years in semiconductor. Me and Mike, we do chips. And I worked for a company called Lam Research. And the walls were lined with Plascor. I learned about them from the fab I worked in Utah, and they had the walls lined with a product called Alucobond. It was a 1/16 of aluminum bonded to ABS, and then another piece of 16-inch aluminum. Stuff's amazing, just like bricks. It was just unreal. And what was slick about the Alucobond is you could vein it with your router and do a nice 45-degree cut like that, a 90-degree cut, and you could fold it up. And so that outside edge of that Plascor would give you a nice smooth edge, and so you could build boxes with it. So I give you a Plascor box. Looks like that. And I'm not selling it. Don't have anything. But the thing is, when I left Lam, I took a lot of this stuff with me. And I was going to build a box like this to put this in. But the thing is, I never got around to it until I was supposed to do this thing. So I did. I built this. So if someone really has an interest in a box like this, we may do some business. Okay? I've got enough to build, I think, 4 more like this, or 3 more with the Plascor I have. But the thing is that it's amazing material, and that it's a lot of fun. As you can see, it's just tougher than nails, and light, and it's amazing stuff. I would make a really nice radio box in that. You could vent it any way you wanted to or something like that. And so I may do something with it. And like I say, I've got a bunch of this Plascor that I don't have a need for. So if anybody has an interest in it, it's amazing stuff. And that's all I've got. Questions? Yeah. On the Plascor, I have no idea. When I was in Oregon, where we lived in Lake Oswego, there was a guy who moved in next to us, bought the house from an older lady that passed away. And he worked for Pacific Power. And I wanted to get one of these boxes built and put a radio in it. And he was one of their testers. He worked out the testing center for Pacific Power, where they would test all the stuff for the substations and stuff like that. So he could generate some massive voltages in his test station. I wanted to go and put a radio in it and have him zap it with about 10,000 volts and just see what would happen to it. I was just going to say, I didn't say what kind of radio, but it would probably be like a $9.95 AM FM. But I just wanted to see it. But I have no idea. Heat transfer, it will transfer heat, stuff like that, but not much. I've not really had time to really play with it a lot, but I've built a lot of stuff with it in that. And like say, this stuff is what they line the fab with. They'll put up the unistrut, they'll rivet this to the thing like that, and they'll have a wall up. There's no sheetrock, nothing like that. This stuff is static free. It's anodized aluminum, and that's chemical resistant and stuff like that. That's about all I know about it. But the company's called Plascor. You can find them online, and they make them. And then a lot of these, front of these buildings, these big buildings, you know, where you see those new big panels up on front. That's a lot of this stuff is this Plascor because it's cheap. They can put it up, and it's pretty amazing stuff. And then they can also mold it. The company can do all kinds of stuff, and they do all kinds of different kinds of honeycombing. They'll do it with carbon fiber and stuff like that. It's amazing stuff like that. And it was just neat stuff. And having worked with the Aluka bond, which is almost identical to it, and saw what we did when we were there and got introduced to it at Signetics. They would just come down the wall like that, and they just start putting up 4x8 sheets. And then to get to a door, all they would do is just make measurements, vein it, and just wrap it around the door like that, and go down the next wall like that. It's amazing stuff when I've seen some of the stuff they built with this stuff. So that's Plascor.
The green ammo can kind of go box. What's
This one here is a 2-meter dual band, and everything fits inside that box. It's a little ICOM 208, and there's a 12 amp. Yeah, I think a 12 amp that I got from John in here, lithium ion. But yeah, it all fits in there. Plus, there's a little. They used to call them little net books, but they're nothing more than a little 1,000 or a little. I can't think of it. Atom 100 or something like that processor, and it's in there. I did a lot of slow scan television with this thing, but I can get it all in there. I may move it out of this and build another box, but not quite that big from this one. But this one here is, you can do a 50 caliber ammo can like that, and you can get some amazing stuff in it. Another go kit of mine is your bow fangs. That's my wife one's there. That's hers. This one's mine. It's all in there. The foam, 3 batteries, the charger, everything, all in there in foam like that. You just close it up, and there's more you could pack in there, but that's one of my little things. And what it was is when we lived in Lake Oswego, she worked 10 miles away or something like that in a 5-story high-rise or a building. And then I worked over at Lamb, and we probably had line of sight, but it was trees and stuff like that. So she had one of these that she took to work, put it in her filing cabinet, and it has all the instructions on how to run it, but she never got a license. But if the event came that was really bad enough, we'd have a radio. She would turn it on and say, okay, I'm okay. Are you okay? I'm okay. You know, because if cell phones weren't working, you know the story, we'd be able to talk to each other and say, okay, we'll meet you here, or, you know, I'll get home when I get home. Because at the time I worked for ERT at the plant, so we would have probably had major problems at the time. But yeah, go kits, you can make them just about at anything. And I wanted to put these in cans where they were a little more protected. So those are what my boxes are. Anything else? Anyone? Any more questions? Yep.
Better off one big battery, because a lot of times in RVs, you're better off with two, rather than one giant one, two
Mm-hmm.
small ones. Would that be better off getting a couple of smaller of the lithium ions?
I think so, because when I went and looked at buying some batteries like that, I found that, and my wife's real big on not supporting that country over in Asia. And we'll just leave it at that. She says, buy American. So you've got either Battleborn, you've got Dakota, you've got a few other ones I found somewhere, but Dakota's awesome batteries. So I go there, and they have an interesting web page. If you go to the web page, it will tell you all about their batteries for their trolling motors and their golf clubs and everything like that. But if you type Dakota/ham, it gets to a whole different page, and you don't get between the two for some reason. I don't know why. But the thing is, they have a bunch of people that have done testing with their radios or with their batteries, and they've thrown a bunch of stuff up on Facebook, and they also recommend which batteries are working. So they recommend for your HF radio a 10 ampere. And I'm going, there's a 300 in Amazon or something like that. But then, so I just bought a couple of 10 amperes in that. And so the thing is always with you got two, you've always got one running, and you always got the second one charging, rather than one big one that you have to wait big time, or you have to carry two batteries and that. So sometimes maybe a couple of smaller ones would work better, and that way you can just switch back and forth. And I've not done it yet, but the thing is, this little Harbor Freight solar panel, if I get to an occasion where I've got light, throw the solar panel on and make sure the other battery's still charged.
So what was that, Dakota where?
Dakota batteries.
Dakota batteries?
Yep.
There was another, just right, Dakota.
Oh, the other one's Battleborn. The Battleborn people are right down here in Reno.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to them the other day. I talked to them, called and visited with them, and they're all ready to sell me a battery right now. Just give us your card. Yes.
One thing I'm doing with, I have no backup right now. And I got a Ryobi 40 volt weed eater. And I've got 3 8 amp batteries. Got to looking at them, there's 4 contacts. Check them, and sure enough, they're 20 volts apiece. So hook it to a solar controller, so it'll bring it down to 12 volts.
Yep.
And feed my station with that.
Yep.
At 20 volts, you bring it down to 12, you're probably more like 10 to 12 amp hours.
And then too, the other one is that when I talked to the people up at Dakota when I bought them, they'll tell you right on the webpage that most of the smaller size batteries will run straight off a solar panel. You just plug the solar panel right into it. You can get little chargers, the little controller boxes for solar panels, the little 10 amp ones or 20 amps or something like that, rather than spending $100 for this 30 or 40, 50 or something like that. But a lot of them just says you can just plug them right into the solar panel. So.
Simple one for $15.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
I took it on a one battery panel I took off of a trailer we had.
Yep.
Trailer that didn't have one. It worked.
To also, I just know one thing: those battery minder type things from Harbor Freight, they're noisy. They're HF noisy, really bad, and especially if you get the Schumacher ones, terrible noisy. So just lean away from them, or something like get into the battery tender or something like that. And that. Any other questions? All righty, it's someone else's turn.
Nice job, Dave. I failed to recognize some people that I talked to a little bit before this thing started. We have some new people here. Fred, right? Fred. Jean? Judy. Where'd I get Jean from? I don't know. Leslie. I knew it was an L. They're here. Leslie's a new technician, I think. Technician and she almost pulled a Lane, evidently. Lane is one that he did his tech, general, and extra. He's not here tonight, but he's a young college kid, 23, 24, something like that. I don't know. Really good guy. But yeah, so welcome. Glad you're here. Hope to see you here some more. And with that, yeah, come look. I don't know if he wants you to touch, but he'll probably say touch. I ain't going to tell you to touch. It's not my stuff. Anyway, some stuff here too. Hoots, is this yours, Hoot?
Yeah, there's one of those boxes like that guy had there. There's one.
You done some upgrades.
Yeah, I did.
Very nice. All right. That's it. Yeah, question. Somebody's raising their hand.
I am looking for some camp operators to help me put up HF in. I will pay you.
Nobody here is going to take your money.